So I was about to get slowly into your walking to Japan, but now I'm very curious because you had no plans of moving to Japan.
No,
and
I never would have thought it.
You arrived into a small village near Hongu.
Yeah.
Basically nearly Wakayama already, in the middle of the peninsula there.
Right on the border of Wakayama.
Right by the Kumano Kodo.
Yes.
So how was it for you to suddenly arrive there? You may have thought, we're going to Tokyo, we're going to...
Yeah, I mean, I never planned to go to Japan at all my whole life. And then my wife Sarah was like, yeah, I want to go. So we did it. But my experience, people ask a lot like, what was your first experience in Japan? What was it like going from America to Japan? Like, what was the culture shock like? And for me, it was more so going from suburbs to nowhere, to the middle of nowhere. So that was my shock. So then the Japan, like getting used to Japan and stuff, kind of came second, one thing at a time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to get used to just having like nothing around us. No stores. Like we had a little mom and pop shop that you could walk to, but it was typical mom and pop shop where it's like twice the price. They only have limited selection. So to go grocery shopping, we would have to drive a little over an hour, like an hour, 15 minutes to a town called Shingu on the coast to go get our groceries from like an Aeon mall.
That's a long drive just for groceries. Basically the opposite of what anyone thinks of when they think of Japan, where it's like, there's a convenience in every corner.
Yeah, there was no Konbini, no Family Mart, no Lawson, no 7-Eleven where I was. So yeah, it was the opposite of what you'd think. Do
you still remember the moment when you arrived in that village and you arrived at the place where you were going to stay and you dropped off your bag and like, this is where we are now?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I moved only like a week or something like that, a week after my wife had arrived. And so she didn't have the car yet. So the only way down there's only one way, public transportation. It's a bus. And it's actually the longest bus route in the country. Or it was at the time. I don't know if it still is. But yeah, at the time it was for sure. And so it was like I think it was like 3-hour bus ride from somewhere up in Nara City or maybe Gojo, one of those towns down to the mountains. And so I definitely remember like the whole journey, every twist and turn, I was getting so sick on the bus. So yeah, when we got there, it was like, wow, we really are kind of nowhere here.